Hi everyone, so for today's video, I will be tackling about cannabinoids. By the way, I am in Glecerie Hataas, and for my video discussion, let's just have some fun. For reminders before we start for today's agenda, we will be defining cannabinoids, knowing THC, and treatment of cannabinoids. But first, has anyone has an idea on what are cannabinoids about? Yeah. So a cannabinoid drug, it is a type of chemical in marijuana that causes drug-like effects all through the body, including the central nervous system and the immune system. So cannabinoids are a group of psychoactive compounds found in marijuana. So THC is the most potent and abundant marijuana or its processed product hashish can be smoked or ingested. So a sense of well-being and euphoria are the subjective effect of exposure. So, so THC stands for tetrahydrocannabinol. So it is also a part of marijuana. So for the effects of cannabinoids, it is also associated with an impairment of short-term memory and intellectual function. Effects of chronic use have not been well established, though tolerance and a mild dependence may develop over time. So, what are the effects of cannabinoids on human body? So, in human, psychoactive cannabinoids produce euphoria, which means or which shows that your body is high. Enhancement of sensory perception, tachycardia, antinooxyconception, difficulties in concentration, and impairment of memory. So the cognitive deficiency seems to persist after withdrawal. So THC overdose has not been associated with any specific adverse effects. THC is a lipophilic substance which is rapidly removed from circulation by passive distribution into hydrophobic compartments such as the brain and fat. So what are the three medical uses for cannabinoids? Actually, there are a lot of medical uses for cannabinoids. Um, your according to my research, cannabinoids might reduce anxiety, reduce inflammation and relieve pain, control nausea and vomiting caused by cancer chemotherapy. It also kills cancer cells and slow tumor growth, relax tight muscles in people with MS, stimulates appetite and improve weight gain in people with cancer and AIDS. So do humans produce cannabinoids? Well, yes, I think according to my research, it is called endocannabinoids, or also called as the endogenous cannabinoids. These are the molecules made by your body. So they are similar to cannabinoids, but they are produced by your body. So how does this cannabinoids work? But before for the results, I will just share a little knowledge or about how do these cannabinoids work. So the human body naturally produces some cannabinoids through the endocannabinoid system. They act in a similar way to neurotransmitters, sending messages throughout your nervous system. So these neurotransmitters affect your brain areas that play a role in memory, thinking, concentration, movement, coordination, sensory and time perception, and pleasure. So your receptors respond to these cannabinoids, also react to tetrahydrocannabinol and other cannabinoids. In this way, your cannabinoids from an outside source can change and disrupt normal brain function. So, what does this or what does a person feel when he is using a cannabis or he or she is using a cannabinoid drug. So when people uses cannabis, they may notice a feeling of elation or euphoria that is known as high, relaxation, changes in perception, for example, of color, time, and space, an increase in appetite, and feeling more talkative. So results for this, these results slow in elimination as a result of redistribution back into circulation and subsequent hepatic metabolism. The half-life of THC in circulation is 1 day after single use and 3 to 5 days for chronic heavy consumers. Immunoassay test for THC-COOH used to screen for marijuana consumption, and GCMS is used for confirmation. So both methods are sensitive and specific, and because of the low limit of detection of both methods, it is possible to find THC-COOH in urine as a result of passive inhalation. Also, before I would end my discussion, there is with the long-term use of these cannabinoids, it changes the in the brain that can occur to or that can lead to problematic use or cannabis use disorder. So this disorder in which a person experiences withdrawal symptoms when not taking the drug may affect about 30% of people who use cannabis. Of these individuals, about 9% may develop an addiction. A person has an addiction when they cannot stop using a substance. So, how can you quit this cannabis or cannabis withdrawal? So, quitting cannabis after becoming dependent is not life threatening, but it can be uncomfortable. So, the symptoms may include irritability, mood changes, insomnia, cravings, restlessness, decreased appetite, general discomfort.